seen Anthony Joshua break his public silence for the first time since the crash. In a post that was shared to Instagram, the world heavyweight champion released an image alongside what appears to be perhaps the parents of Gami and Ayodele, offering a quiet but powerful tribute to two men
that people came out to show their respects, but they also came out to support Anthony Joshua, because what must he be going through right now?
Yeah. Anthony Joshua breaks down in tears at Sina and Lats's funeral. After being discharged from a Lagos hospital where he was treated following the tragic crash that claimed the lives of his dear friends Tsunami and Lateef Lotz Ayodele, AZ flew back to the UK and attended their funeral at the London Central Mosque. In that heartbreaking moment, the normally stoic champion allowed his grief to show, revealing just how deeply these losses have affected him. After being discharged from the hospital and returning to the UK for the funerals of Sinagami and Lateef Lotz Ayodele, Oz shared his first social media update. He posted photos on Instagram sitting with family members of the victims, captioning the image simply, "My brother's keeper." A heartfelt tribute to the two men he lost. Spencer Fearon's moment with Anthony Joshua paints the raw emotional weight AJ carried at the funeral. Even without words, AJ's presence and that brief embrace with FN showed just how heavy his heart was. In a setting meant for mourning and reflection at London Central Mosque, AJ wasn't the champion in the ring. He was a friend grieving brothers he deeply loved.
I was walking out because I wasn't going to go say anything to him. I was walking out, then I got a tap on the shoulder. I turned around, it was Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And we had a brief chat and a little embrace and that. And then I left. But there was, funerals are never good. But
Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic loss captured the boxer's heartbreak in the simplest, most honest way. Sitting beside family members of Sina and Lateef, Lotz Ayodele's caption, "My brother's keeper," wasn't about boxing. It was a vow to never forget the two men who were like family to him. His grief was clear and deeply human.
This is Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic accident, okay? This came from his social media, and of course, if you guys didn't see it in the preview of the video, it was simple but strong and powerful. And it stated, "My brother's keeper." And in this situation, it means that he's going to take care of everything. He's responsible for his brothers.
Johnny Nelson's reflection on Oz cut straight to the heart of this tragedy. Seeing two of Anthony Joshua's closest friends, men he trusted with his training and life, taken so suddenly has left the heavyweight visibly shaken. AZ wasn't just mourning colleagues. He was grieving brothers whose deaths will forever weigh on him and their grieving families.
Talk about these two young men that lost their lives and their families, how it's affected their families. So you want to concentrate on AJ. How's it going to affect AJ? Instead of concentrating on how's it affected the people that have lost their children.
These words echo the kind of haunting grief age is facing. When tragedy strikes those closest to you, questions like, why them? Come without warning. For Anthony Joshua, a champion trained for battle but never for loss of this magnitude, this moment underscores a painful reality. Life outside the ring is unpredictable, and grief doesn't respect legacy or strength.
You look at it's always the people that are the best, or, you know what I mean, that end up going first. You know, and you examine like, well, why wasn't it me, or why did this have to happen?
Anthony Joshua's heartfelt words after the funeral reflect the emotional toll of this tragedy beyond the boxing titles and fame. He was forced to confront a deeper truth. Real value is in the people beside you. Losing Sina and Lat so suddenly has clearly reshaped his perspective, reminding everyone that moments, memories, and loyalty matter more than any ring victory.
Just trying to find happiness, building yourself. True blessing is actually making into this earth. Everyone dies at some stage. So I think across the board, one has to be happy inside. No matter about the material possession one owns, how that's a car and a driving. Very, very careful of other people we choose to hang around with and associate them, because you soon become like the people who spend most of her hell.
If she come to conjure around of lions, she receive it on an eye. So pick your friends and yourself wisely. What you say the kids is, they start to flourish and grow, and blossom, rather than perish, made away, and die. So look at the environment, it's the same trait.
Jarrell Miller's raw reaction shows the shock waves this tragedy sent through the boxing community. Even someone not on the best terms with Oz couldn't help but feel deep sympathy, because no athlete, no matter how tough, is prepared for the emotional devastation of losing brothers in a moment like this. Miller's words echo what fans everywhere have felt. This wasn't a fight. This wasn't a headline. It was a life-changing loss. Seeing someone like AZ, who has faced the biggest battles in the ring, confronted with this kind of pain, makes everyone realize that real heartbreak is beyond competition. It's human.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ,
Johnny Nelson's words reminded fans that beyond the fame in the sport, AJ's friends were real people with real families. Losing someone so close in a heartbeat changes everything. This tragedy has made everyone, including AZ, reflect on life, how precious it is, and how pain and loss are far deeper than any fight.
It's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs, and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing a life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men who were somebody's child, someone's brother. And that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Payname's observation highlights just how brutal the crash was. AZ may be a warrior in the ring, but surviving a violent collision that instantly killed two of his closest allies shakes even the toughest fighters to their core. The mental and emotional recovery from something like this will be as difficult as any physical injury.
It's such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care, because you don't want to...
Showbiz. The Adult's Breakdown sheds light on the legal aftermath of this heartbreaking tragedy. Nigerian authorities have charged the driver involved with dangerous driving after the Lexus SUV carrying Oz and his two close friends collided with a stationary truck. While the emotional focus remains on Anthony Joshua's grief and the loss of Sinagami and Latif Latode, both beloved members of his team, the reality of legal consequences looms. In Nigeria, reckless driving that leads to death can carry serious prison time, reflecting how devastating and avoidable many road tragedies can be. This reminder of accountability stands amid widespread sorrow and prayer for the deceased.
Real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7.
Pain Game's reaction highlights something deeper than physical injury. It reflects the emotional toll this crash has taken on Anthony Joshua. Surviving a horrific car accident that instantly killed two of his closest teammates, his strength coach Sagami and his trainer Latif Latode, could have easily ended AJ's life too. Instead, he walked away with minor injuries, but emotional scars run deep. Anyone who's seen Joshua in the ring knows how tough he is. Yet, surviving an accident that claimed the lives of the people he trusted most brings a kind of pain that no amount of toughness can shield. His mind will replay that moment again and again, and the joy he once had for life in boxing will be forever altered. This isn't about bruises and bones. It's about grief, survivor's guilt, and the heavy burden of continuing on when your brothers didn't make it.
Such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
Eddie Hearn's words capture the immense responsibility Anthony Joshua now carries beyond the ring. In the moments after the crash that killed 2 of his closest allies, Hearn stressed the importance of being there for the victims' families. Something AZ has taken personally. More than a sport, this is a deeply personal loss. Sinagami and Latif Lot's Isle weren't just trainers. They were loyal companions who stood beside Ash through countless fights, sacrifices, and victories. Now Joshua owes more than tears. He has pledged support to those they left behind. That's the mark of a man who understands that life's real battles happen outside the ring against grief and heartbreak. AZ isn't just focused on healing himself. He's focused on making sure these families feel seen, supported, and loved in their darkest hour. It's a gesture that goes far beyond boxing. It's about humanity, compassion, and loyalty.